Imagine a thinker who fused religion, sociology, and revolutionary politics to challenge centuries of complacency. This is the story of Ali Shariati, a fiery Iranian intellectual whose ideas helped shape modern Iran and continue to provoke debate across the Muslim world. Born in 1933 in Mazanan, Iran, Shariati grew up immersed in both traditional Shi'a teachings and modern education. He studied at the University of Mashhad and later in Paris, where exposure to existentialist philosophy, Marxist thought, and Western sociology transformed his outlook. Returning to Iran in the early 1960s, he became a university lecturer and a charismatic public speaker, reaching a growing audience of students and urban intellectuals. Shariati's core project was to reinterpret Shi'a Islam as a framework for social justice and liberation. He rejected passive religiosity and argued that religion should be a force for emancipation. Drawing on Husayn ibn Ali's martyrdom at Karbala, Shariati recast Shi'a history as a model of resistance against oppression, using symbolic narratives to awaken political consciousness. He blended Islamic motifs with anti-colonial rhetoric and Marxist critiques of class, insisting that faith must be actively engaged in changing unjust structures. He criticized both Western secularism and conservative clericalism. Secular nationalism that ignored religion, he warned, could be hollow and detached from people's moral lives. Likewise, a clerical establishment that sided with the status quo betrayed Islam's ethical mission. Shariati called for an engaged intellectual Islam, a dynamic, reflective faith that empowered the poor, nurtured critical thought, and contested imperial and domestically oppressive power. His lectures filled halls across Iran. Shariati's written works and taped speeches, direct, poetic, and rhetorically charged, spread widely among students, activists, and even some clerics. Though he was not a formal organizer of political movements, his ideas animated a generation that later played key roles in the 1979 Iranian Revolution. For many young Iranians, he offered a moral vocabulary that made political struggle intelligible as a religious duty. Controversy followed him. Conservative theologians accused him of theological shortcuts and of politicizing sacred narratives. Secular leftists sometimes suspected him of smuggling Marxist concepts into religious garb. His intellectual provocations drew both admiration and fierce criticism. In 1977, at age 43, he died unexpectedly while traveling in England. The circumstances of his death remain debated and contributed to his mythic status. Rather than being simply remembered, Ali Shariati continues to be actively read, debated, and reinterpreted. For some, he is a revolutionary prophet who expanded the language of resistance within Islam. For others, he is a complex, contested thinker whose work must be scrutinized and adapted for new contexts. His fusion of religion and radical critique still inspires activists, scholars, and theologians wrestling with questions of faith, justice, and modernity across the Muslim world. If this portrait intrigued you, like, subscribe, and tell us which thinker you'd like explored next.